What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sim Football here. So I haven't done one of these comparison videos in a while, so let's get to it. We're going to take Madden 25, the original, Madden 15, Madden 18, and Madden 19 and compare them against each other. What we're going to do is we're going to have 4 plays of each game. And I will say the defense on Madden 15 was pretty tough, so I didn't get that many cool highlights for you guys. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch each play at speed once, and then we're going to watch it slow down, zoomed in. And I'm really just going to give a live critique as we go. Each game plays a little bit different. I will say 15 and 25 are similar, but what you're going to notice immediately is that 25 is actually a little bit stiffer and more realistic in my opinion. Alright, kicking things off is Madden 25. As you guys know, I don't use a script, so we're just going to watch this at speed together. Also, in the bottom right, you'll see what my settings are, and right now it's on slow 0. And it's not in order, too. It might alternate. Alright, slow down, looking at this. Early on, it kind of looks like he has a trouble figuring out what to do with his hands, but I really like the running animation on Madden 25. And slow 0 is not terrible. I mean, there are moments where I wish some of the animations were a little slower, but overall it's probably the best setting unless you want absolute animation smoothness, and obviously very slow 100 is better. I love doing this double juke on this game. It's so good. In fact, it was overpowered, for being honest. I do like how stiff the lower body is of players when they get tackled. The limp ragdoll leg stuff normally isn't a problem on this game, but you will see it kind of creep its head up a little bit on Madden 15. Right here, very slow 100. We're just going to do a little toss to the outside. Luckily Luke Kuechly got caught up in traffic. Again, when you're looking at the running animation at speed, I know this is slow motion. It is a little bit slow. It is a little bit slow, and of course, with every Madden, if you don't control the player, the running back or the ball carrier will actually run faster. And of course, you know, the game always freezes for some strange reason. If that's not terrible, I mean, if he only had like 88 speed or 87 speed, I would understand, but he has 91 speed. I think, for me, it's not necessarily how fast he's running or how much ground he's covering. I think if his arms were pumping a little bit faster, I think it would be way better. But like always, I say there's pros and cons to very slow and slow, depending on what you want out of the game. And like I said, right here for Madden 15, I kind of struggled a little bit to get highlights. I would not recommend very slow 100 unless you want absolute smoothness of animations, because the way the ball carrier runs and the animations and stuff, they're way too slow. So all the highlights that you're watching right now are slow 0. As you can see a little bit right there, the lower body limp ragdoll is it's just making its way into the game. It's not unbearable, but it's noticeable. And like I said early on, Madden 25 is actually noticeably stiffer, and I think it kind of works out in the favor. I was super critical of the running animation at first, but honestly, you can see the remnants. You can see the remnants of 25 when they run, and it's just on that line between acceptable and needs work. It's just right there in the middle. So honestly, I don't mind it too much. I do like that he pushed off of that lineman off the block to kind of get around the corner. Running, like I said, it's a little upright, a little robotic. It's not terrible. You can really see the Madden 25 running animation when you're rounding a corner with the ball carrier. This is not terrible. In fact, if the ball was high and tight, I would not mind the way he's pumping his arms. I will say when you get to 16 and 17, though, they kind of carry it like a loaf of bread, and I really don't like that. It kind of looks like a grandma trying to scare you a little bit now that I look at it. You know, I'm a stickler for ball carrier movement, so it's kind of, I notice things like that, but it's honestly not that bad. See, right there, right as he went to turn the corner and cut up, it looked really good. For like a split second, you're like, oh yes, the legacy Madden 25 running animation. But for some strange reason, they decided to tweak it 1 year later for no reason. I will say on Madden 18, I actually understand why eventually they just got away from the limp ragdoll, because yeah, it is a little much at times on here. This, what's funny about this is if you just saw that, this actually looks like slow 0, but it's not. Very slow 100 if you let the CPU run the ball like I am on this one. On 15 and 25, you have to manually control the running back or he won't try to break tackles. But on here, you can let them run the ball. I don't have a problem with his running animation and how fast he's covering ground. But on slow 0, I do have a little bit of a small problem with the animation speed, and unfortunately the only way to counter that is to slow the game down. Something about that looked really jerky. I don't know if it was this cut up field. Let's look at that a little bit closer. It was like a mini, kind of like a mini plant in get up field. I don't know, like I said, the animations on slow 0 are probably the only thing that hold me back. The speed, the beauty of the animations is fine, it's the speed right here. Him running through that tackle was like the perfect animation speed. Like I said, the only thing I would tweak about these games on very slow 100 would just be how fast the running back pumps his arms, because the way he ran through that arm tackle looked really good at speed. So with all these games, it's pretty much slow 0 or very slow 100, except for Madden 19. You guys know I'm very slow all the way. I have very slow 0 right now. I'm letting Christian McCaffrey just run the ball himself. For me, I just like animation smoothness more than anything. But you will notice like the linemen are running really slow. Christian McCaffrey's really slow. I think this is why I started recommending 8, because 8 is like the threshold, because once you get to 9, there's like noticeable warping for some strange reason. I talked about that in like a video a long time ago. You'll have to go find it. See, the animations are just a little bit sped up. You're running a little bit faster. It's still pretty clean animation wise. I think, I feel like this has some good potential, but this game's like really stiff, like stiffer than Madden 25 as far as like, because there is no ragdoll movement on this game. Pretty clean. It's not the best. Again, if you're not looking for an animation-based game, or let me say it this way, if you don't like animation-based gameplay, you're not gonna like Madden 19, because Madden 19 really capitalizes on animations, and if you're playing it out of box with 100 threshold and normal speed, you're really not gonna like the game. In fact, you're probably gonna find that it's trash. I think the one thing I wish I could change about Madden 19 so much is they don't have a sprinting animation for linebackers. They just kind of jog. They jog and cover the ground. That's one critique I wish they would have. Like, look, who is that? Thomas Davis, I believe, closing in right there. Yeah, he's going to tackle Christian McCaffrey, but he's like jogging. He's not in a full sprint until right there at the end. Maybe they just programmed it to be that way. I don't know. Okay, well, so here we are. I will say Madden 25 for me on very slow 100. It just has this, I love the stiffness and the smoothness of the animations. Even slow 0 with the stiffness is pretty good. Madden 15, I don't really recommend very slow 100 unless you're just going to visual sim it. Playing as the ball carrier on very slow 100 for Madden 15 is just painful. On Madden 18 though, very slow 100 is actually not that bad. In fact, you're probably going to like the animation speed on very slow 100. And if you're a visual sim guy, very slow 100 is beautiful. If you do any type of coach mode or visual sim to the end type of stuff, Madden 18 is the best visual sim coach mode game currently. Like, the quarterbacks actually play to their ratings. If they're going to take off and run, they will. They'll complete passes. The drop back animation on very slow 100, it's great. In fact, Madden 18 might be the best well-rounded one in this group. And then Madden 19, again, if you're going to play this game, make sure you're on very slow gameplay speed and your threshold is to your liking. And even though I say to your liking, I strongly recommend 0 if you're a animation smoothness nut. But if you want faster gameplay, set your threshold to 8. But truthfully, I mean, if you don't mind the warping and the sliding around that happens when animations are too fast, you can pretty much just keep it at 50. I wouldn't recommend 100 because what will happen then is when you get the handoff and you press the sprint button, you get an unrealistic speed boost. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Sim Football out.